Do.
The inside of this mask is leopard print. This is what I did last time, and then I'm going to embarrass myself. Go ahead.
No. You're good. Well, Jeff,
I'm ready.
I appreciate you being here today. Fresh from the road, fresh from over the sea, over the pond.
The word is on the street that on the last podcast you said that you fired me. The vote was taken and I got fired.
Yeah, we did. I held a quorum.
It's not true.
Well, some people may be wondering.
I heard a little chuckle there.
That was me.
Oh, okay.
So some people may be wondering if they're just tuning in, why is Jeff Stevens in a blindfold? Well, we have a very special secret guest on the podcast today. Okay, so we've done this before. It's always been a hit in the ratings department. And that is where we bring a secret guest in. All week long, I've had to keep this from you. Hope you didn't encounter him on the street down at Impact's studio.
Yeah.
We don't believe that you did. So the secret guest is here with us. And I'm going to give you a riddle. I'm going to see if you, with just a few hints, can guess who our special guest is today, okay?
I'm ready.
Okay. Jeff?
Yep.
This person was born the same year that the Green Bay Packers beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl for the first time since 1967. You know what year that was? I'll keep going.
Yeah, I know. Close.
This was also the same year that OJ walked free, but Tyson took a quick snack break during his fight with Holyfield. Oh, have you narrowed the year down yet?
Gosh, man. The Packers beat the Patriots.
Yeah, for the first time since 67.
And then
OJ walked free.
I mean, you're talking, what, mid to late 90s or something.
Okay.
So this person is going to be like 20, whatever, 7. Is that wrong?
You're usually who I would turn to for this, so let's assume you're right. Okay. Let me go on. This person happens to call the mountains home, but can enter the promised land at any moment. But it may be a worrisome ride.
Okay.
This person wears a lot of hats, but added a new favorite, and then again the same hat most recently.
Added a new favorite.
Yeah, wears a lot of hats.
Then again, a new hat.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Look, if you've made it to this point, you clearly haven't got the point of this game yet.
Me?
Yeah.
The point of the game?
Yeah.
I'm trying to guess who it is. What are you talking about?
If you haven't got it yet, you haven't got to the point of this game yet.
Oh, okay. Well, that was my thought, but you made it too easy with that.
Well, not as defensive as you get. What do you mean what the point of the game is?
Well, so I assume then.
Okay.
Well, when you said that they're in the mountains but could cross into the promised land, I had to
where's
think of
that
the
at?
Ohio River.
The
right?
Ohio River, that would lead you right into the Buckeye State.
And it's a younger person in their 20s. This is one of my favorite people in the world.
Okay.
Oh gosh, what if it's not? What if it's not Torrie? I think it's Torrie Epling.
You think it's Torrie Epling? Well, the only way to know is take that mask off.
Hey.
Hello. Hello.
Thank you. All right. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Can you put some applause on there for Torrie? I mean, we're going to clap for Torrie, but I just wanted some personally.
Yeah,
Forget that.
absolutely.
I tell you what, Torrie, you come out of that blindfold, throw that on for a minute, and it's like you just woke up from a nap. That's a 5-minute readjustment period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the cheetah. Gives it a nice touch.
This is really cool. I'm glad that you're here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Torrie, welcome in. I say this often, but I'll say it just so you know it's true. I know this is out of your comfort zone.
Very much.
But I really, really appreciate you coming down.
Well, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, we wanted to have you on for quite a while. We're trying to build up the the bravery to call you and be like, please do it, please do it. We know you're not a person that is always saying put the cameras on me,
right.
But you are a great director, a long-standing member of the company, and let's start it right away. Just like tell us who you are, where you're from, what you do, and who you work with.
Yes. So my name is Torrie Epling, and I am the Executive Director of Village Caregiving for our Point Pleasant branch.
Okay. Home of the Mothman.
Home of the Mothman, yes. Born and raised in Mason County.
Okay. And who do you work with there at Point Pleasant?
I work with my director of operations, which is Carly Dabney, our 2 nurses, which are Dana Rollins and Melody Leach. And then we also added a new staff to another director of operations, which her name is Erica Hernandez Aki.
Wow.
Yes.
Big office.
Yeah,
a lot
it
of
is.
staff.
Yes.
5 people.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the Point Pleasant office. How long have you been there? And how long has the office been around? How did you get to Village Caregiving?
Yes. So I have been employed with Village Caregiving since December of 2020. My first day was actually at our annual retreat, and I will never forget that.
Yeah.
That was your first day.
That was my first day.
Day one.
Yes, day one. I think we maybe had like 10, 12 offices, not very many.
Yeah.
So
Was that at Nemacolin that year?
Yes,
Yeah, I remember
yes.
you guys. We were kind of at that U-shaped table. But yeah, I remember that day.
Right. So I knew a few people in the company before I joined, thankfully. My uncle had known Corey, who
Okay.
was at the Point Pleasant office before he started it. Thank you, Corey. And then I had a friend who knew Matt. And then I also knew our lovely friend Steve. In
Steve Staffolina.
Baltimore,
Yeah,
right?
the pride of Baltimore is what we call him.
Yes.
My favorite memory from the Nemacolin trip Torrie's involved in. I don't know if you even remember this or not. I didn't know very many people at the company. This was, we had several new people. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't she like starting that same week as well?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, like both of them was at the meeting. It was like first days for both of them. I was there, and I believe it was day 2. We'd got out and we were all in that like seating lounge area in the lobby of the resort. And you were getting up to go do something, and Steve was going to do something. And Steve has a big personality. He's a funny guy. And you quipped off something to Steve. Like you'd known him for 30 years. And I just remember like the look on his face. I'm sure he remembers that day because he didn't have a comeback or anything. You were just like, whatever you were telling him to do, you just like handled him. And it was so funny because you were so quiet at that meeting. You were new to the company. But one of my favorite days was watching you get on Steve.
Yes.
He needs often. You
Right.
should call him probably today.
Right.
We may do it before this is over.
Might as well. I knew Steve. He was a regular at 2 of my previous employments, so I knew him pretty well at that point.
Well, cool. So you joined Village Caregiving back in 2020, and you are a lifelong resident of Mason County. Is that right?
That is right.
So, and you and Carly go back too, right?
Yes.
You guys friends in school?
Yes, we have been friends since our Magic Years days, which was daycare. So
Wow.
we were the best of friends, and she started out as a caregiver and then came into the office staff, and we're just so thankful to have her.
I got you. How cool is that like you've got someone that you started daycare with, a lifelong friend, you're in your hometown, you're there taking care of folks, vulnerable folks that are elderly, that need help, and you get to go and be the face of that for several years, build up a business in downtown Point Pleasant, work with your lifelong best friend. That's a pretty cool story.
It is. I love getting to work beside my best friend. I see her as family at this point, so it's awesome to get to work with her and share all those good experiences with.
Yeah. Well, speaking of family, that's where I was alluding to the hat, and then got to wear the same hat again. Your family has grown a little bit, right? You have something to be
Yes.
proud of here.
Yes.
Tell us about your family.
Oh my, I have a 17-month-old and about to be 6-month-old. So
Oh, wow.
they are 11 months apart.
Yeah.
They keep us busy, that is for sure.
So you're entering about 20 months with no sleep.
That is for sure. Yes. Yes. We have had a baby with us for the last 17 months.
Yeah.
It's been great.
I'll give you some advice. So mine were spread out a little bit more. They were a couple years apart, but I don't remember when like the last time we packed like a diaper bag was. Like it just happened, like one day we just didn't take a diaper bag with us. It had to happen. I don't remember that, but now that some of our friends have had babies, when we go to leave and we realize like the job you have to go through to even leave your
Yes.
home, you're like, oh, no wonder we never went anywhere. We just stay home.
Yes. We are homebodies, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, cool. Jeff?
How I know that Torrie's had a child recently.
Yeah.
And how does that equal wearing another hat just because you have to
Well,
You got
she's-
another duty to
You
raise
know,
another child. That's it.
Well, we wear the hat of being a director. We wear the hat of being a friend. We wear
Yeah.
the hat of being... But when
Hat
you-
of motherhood.
Yeah.
She already a mom.
Yeah, but then she got to put it back on again. You know, or maybe 2. I don't know. I was doing the best I could with the
It's not the
riddle.
best clue I ever heard. What do you think?
I mean, I was worried he would say the Mothman, and then I thought we were really
Yeah,
dead giveaway.
Way too easy.
You know what I'm shocked to find out? For whatever reason, I convince myself that every human that ever comes to work at Village Caregiving, no matter where they're at in the world, will know We Are Marshall and the Mothman movie. And I am almost always striking out on that.
Does it ever, when you are from Mason County and Point Pleasant, does it ever get on your nerves to hear people talk about That's like the first thing, Mothman, all the time.
That's what we're known for. That's how we get some tourism. So I never
So
hate
it's
hearing
okay.
it. It's okay.
Yeah, well, my daughter's a huge Mothman fan.
You need to bring her to the Mothman Festival.
I know. We went gone to the museum, and then we drove on up the river to where the Men in Black were. You familiar with this?
No.
I am.
She's got a little book of all the different kind of ghouls and ghosts and cryptids of West Virginia. So we eventually try to get to all of them. But Mothman probably is number one fave all time. Sleeps with she's gotten a little bit older now, but she used to have a little Mothman stuffed animal thing.
I saw a book recently. You said you had a copy of it. It was Mothman Learns the ABCs.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's-
Where'd you see this at?
Fayetteville, at that bookstore.
Oh, yeah, we did have that for Rachel. Yeah, that's right. I was like, were you in Rachel's bedroom or something? Creep.
Well, it's hard to recover from that. So,
Well, no, I get
Yeah.
it. So another hat, right.
we're
But,
back to the riddle. Okay. Hey, let me
No,
ask
no,
you.
no,
This is a heavy-hitting question. I got to know the answer to this before we move on. Mm-hmm. Do you believe in the Mothman?
I believe. Yes. You know,
I told him before that the people that are from that area,
we believe.
it's not a joke, man.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That blows your mind, doesn't it? Look at your face, the surprise on it.
Yes, and Carly and I were actually,
Here we go.
grew up in the area that the Mothman was supposedly sighted. So,
I believe we've talked about this before on the show, that there was probably something down there under that bridge.
There
Now,
had
what
to
it
be.
was, it's hard to say, but one of the theories is one of those giant harpy eagles that looks very much like a human-sized owl.
I could see
You
it.
can look it up right now. Google harpy eagle. You'll see what I'm talking about.
They just flashed an image of it up.
Dude, if you see that thing with those eyes down there as a catastrophe happens, you're liable to think anything. I get it. And maybe it was a Mothman, too. I don't know.
Yeah. Could we just dedicate, you think, the remainder of the show to this? Just talking Mothman?
No, we can't.
Okay,
We
that's
won't.
probably best. We won't.
Nope. But I love Torrie. I love that you are here today. That's why I said one of my favorite people in the world. It's how many you've been with the company for over 4 years.
About 4 years. Well, it'll be 4 years in December.
Oh, okay. So going on 4. Okay. Well, that's a pretty long time in village caregiving.
Yeah, that's 113 years village caregiving time.
Right.
Yeah, you may as well founded the place almost. I mean, like you said, you came to the first annual meeting and there were a dozen or so people there.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think,
It
isn't it?
is crazy to think. Yep.
So I told you this the other day. I hope it doesn't sound too like old manish. Sorry. But I've really enjoyed, I really mean this. I've kind of watched you grow up in your professional career. Of course, that's what I mean. And make no mistake, during that same time period, I've done a lot of growing myself. That isn't just a one-way thing. But it's been a real honor to watch that and see you develop your own style of management and just really kind of come into your own as a director in the office. It's been really cool, and you've done a great job.
Well, thank you. I see you as the father figure that I don't ever want to disappoint. So,
Well, you don't. So, yeah, I mean, the office has had tremendous success ever since you've taken over. It's got to be one of the biggest in the entire company, and a really hard one too.
Yeah.
Because you have multiple payer sources, multiple states, multiple pretty much everything, big numbers,
yeah.
a lot of big geographic region. Tough job. You do it really, really well. And Corey set you up for success.
He
You said
did.
that dude was Mr. Point Pleasant.
He
whenever
was. He was out of the Point Pleasant McDonald's just taking applications.
he hired half the town.
He did.
What's the population? 4,000?
4,000.
He must have hired 2,000
I
people
do
in the
not
years.
doubt it.
I remember you saying back when we turned in manual employee entries, that everyone else's stack would be 1 and then Corey's would be equal.
It would.
To the company.
Yes.
There'd be maybe 10 offices, and I'd have a stack of 20 new employees to enter for that time period or whatever. Very commonly, no joke, there would be like 10 from the rest of the company and 10 from Point Pleasant. I would just be like, what? How? Who are all these people? There can't be that many people there.
And, shout out to Corey. We still have some of the caregivers. They started before I did.
Really?
We still have people that have been there since Corey hired them, which is awesome to have.
That is awesome. I
very
love
cool.
that. I mean, well, you've done a good job making them feel valued and appreciated. And how important is that for the care that we offer to the family? When you treat the caregiver, make them feel valued and safe in their job,
right,
taken care of and appreciated, that's how they're going to go take care of the family. The family will feel valued, appreciated, taken care of, safe, all the same things. So,
absolutely.
Bravo.
Thank you. And it's nice because I can, if I'm starting a new client, and I can tell the client, like, hey, we've had this caregiver for 4 years. She's been here longer than me. I love to say that. It really shows how we are as a company.
What do you think? I mean, again, not in an effort to contrast or disparage, but what do you think it is that's about village caregiving that a caregiver that lives in Mason County, West Virginia, would come to work at Village Caregiving, maybe had 5 or 6 jobs prior to that, and then comes in and is like, this is home, like this is where I'm going to stay. What makes Village Caregiving different in that way, you think?
I would say the flexibility of the job. I love that we as an office staff get the flexibility, but we also get to give the caregivers that same flexibility. So as at first, whenever Carly's hiring people, she asks, what is your ideal schedule? There are some people that want, a 9 to 2:30, the same hours as their kids, or there's some people that only have a one vehicle household and they just want weekends. So I would say the flexibility of the job, and we are always there to answer their questions, whether it be night or day, morning, late night. We are always there to answer any questions that they may have.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, obviously you guys are doing something right for in any profession. For someone to stay anywhere for 4, 5, 6 years, it's got to be a good place to be, right? And I'm certain you guys still have a lot of the same clients,
yes,
that have stayed with us for a long time. And how, when we talked about it, it being your community, you have to know a ton of people that you take care of, that you provide services for, that you employ, or their family. It seems like every time that we're doing anything in the Point Pleasant market, you're like, yeah, I know,
right,
Bob's sister's cousin, and they said they're good people, and you're like, geez, this is the environment that we thrive in, right? Whether that's in Johnson City or Beckley or Point Pleasant. There's just something special about that culture that we're able to connect with people in that way.
I agree. We try to be as involved in the community as possible. And whenever we get a new client, whether it be a home visit with myself or a home visit with our nurse, we try to develop a connection with them. And whether if it be we know their mother's brother's sister's cousin,
yeah,
or if we're just learning about them today, we try to develop that relationship with the clients.
It's cool.
What else is going on in Point Pleasant these days? First off, people from around the company that might listen to this, it's a charming name, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Point Pleasant. Sounds like a place I'd like to go to.
I was going to do something fun with that about it being a welcoming, but I couldn't get there on the riddle, so I didn't. I know. Sorry.
What happened? Why couldn't you get there?
I just couldn't get there. Yeah.
Well, it's a town that's right on the Ohio River. It's kind of, if you see the Charleston, which is kind of Huntington, here's southwest part of the state. Kind of makes a triangle. Point Pleasant would be about right in here, right towards Columbus, if you're going straight across, sort of. Just giving you a little geography lesson there.
Yeah, thank you.
What else is going on in Point Pleasant these days?
Kind of same old. We haven't had any festivals recently.
Wow.
They did just start the Mothman Festival after COVID. They started that back up, which we're really happy to have.
Yeah.
I think they had like 10,000 people show up to the festival all across the country. It's crazy.
I assume it's called the movie.
There's probably not much time to do anything because we've hired the whole town, so
Right.
they're all just
Right.
working for you and Corey.
Yeah.
There's no time to do much. Who's the mayor of Point Pleasant? Do you know?
The mayor of Point Pleasant. Oh, yes, I do. But I can't think of it right off the top of my head. She's a lovely lady. I just saw her the other day, actually.
And everybody likes her, and she's revitalizing some of the town and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
I guess. That's cool to see. It's a really cute little place.
It is, yeah. It's a great
Only
place.
about 40 minutes from my house. We go up there sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever go to
Torrie and I have a favorite Mexican restaurant there, too.
We do.
Okay.
I mean, so take that, I guess.
Yeah. What do you get?
Well, last time I was there, I got a plate off menu.
A lot of the food comes on plates. Continue.
A plate of chicken.
Okay.
That's pollo.
Yeah. Familiar.
Spinach. Espinaca. Cheese sauce, not shredded, cheese sauce.
The white cheese sauce.
They call that queso.
Yeah. This guy's bilingual.
And chorizo.
Oh.
That's chorizo. It's 4 things on a plate. That's it. Low carb. Tastes delicious. Great.
What's your go-to Mexican restaurant order?
You know, it actually came from Ben Keenan, the
Oh.
Popeye.
Yeah, it's a pretty similar dish.
And I'm assuming that is just going to be nuts and some type of grass.
Right.
That's all I've ever seen him
Right.
eat.
I think he took off the rice and beans, maybe.
Of course he did.
But
Yeah.
It was the Popeye.
He's not playing games.
No arroz, no frijoles. Wait, all really the Popeye is you're going to throw in some onions and mushrooms, I think, right, and take the
Some
spinach out.
No, some spinach.
Oh, it's in there too.
Yep.
Oh, there is spinach. Well, that's why it's a Popeye. Well, what's out then? The Did I just order a Popeye with less stuff?
I think you did.
Yeah, you got a
did.
non-discounted Popeye is what happened. They just saved some bank over there.
What's the name of the place?
Rio
Why
Bravo.
don't you try to get us a sponsorship?
Yeah.
To the fine folks at Rio Bravo and beautiful downtown Point Pleasant, West Virginia, if you're looking for corporate sponsorship or if you'd like to do some type of trade where we appear on your menu and then your name appears on our podcast, we're open to that as well. We're also just kind of looking for some free food. So however you guys want to do, you can come down to a special with us, whatever. I am a big chicken fajitas guy. I don't usually put it on the burrito. Anyways, that's not important. We'll get into that later. But what was the name of it?
Rio Bravo.
Rio Bravo. We're waiting on you.
That was turned into a 30-second ad.
It was great.
Yeah,
Pretty
there we
good.
go.
The thing is that we offered a trade to talk about them on the podcast in exchange for something, but we already did it. It's too late.
We will disparage your business on the next podcast if you don't honor your end of the deal that you've not agreed to yet.
Legal disclaimer, I think it's just in case that was some kind of a tort. He's joking around.
Or am I?
No, he is.
I
He
am.
is.
No, I'm 100% joking.
We're going to stop that. Right. All right. Back to Village
Sorry,
Care.
yeah.
Wait,
So, yeah.
Village Care again. Or I can just read you this piece of opinion. Would you like to do that? Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about?
Not in
This
particular.
is the segment of the show where I just completely hijack it and go way off track.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a choice. Do you want these are people that write into the business section of the Times.
We're ready.
There's 4 of them. Feeling trapped, devise an escape plan. That's option 1. I'm going to give you number 2, toxic office talk.
Boo.
Number 3, conflicts of interest. Kind of boring.
Yeah.
Number 4, grown-up mean girl. Feeling trapped, toxic office talk, conflicts of interest, grown-up mean girl. I'm going to ask you the question here
One
from the
or four.
Times
One or
and
four.
see
Which
what
one
kind
you
of
want?
advice you give. This is called Dear Torrie and Aaron.
First.
Dear Torrie and Aaron.
All right. We're going to go with option 1.
Feeling trapped,
Yeah.
devise an escape plan. Well, let me just ask you, okay?
Yeah.
Torrie and Aaron.
Sure.
I have a dead-end job. I don't make enough to live comfortably, and there's no opportunity for me to be promoted or gain a raise. I'm looking for something else, but finding it really difficult. I'm working long hours for little pay, and it's too much. When I started this job, I learned a lot of different things before I settled into my responsibilities. When my coworkers have a problem, they often ask me because I can help. I'm also the only one who knows how to do my specific role. I've asked for help with larger projects, and I get brushed off. I've been told, quote, it only makes sense for you to do this on very simple tasks. I am also repeatedly told you're essential and this place would fall apart without you. But I also know 2 people used to do my job. I'm stressed all the time but don't feel empowered to quit because I don't have anything else. What can I do? Signed, Anonymous.
Do you want to go first?
I'll let you take this one.
This is a very common scenario that we get when someone comes to interview with Village Caregiving. We're asked, why are you leaving your current position, or why did you leave your most recent position? And it's, I'm maxed out in potential. I don't have a professional path forward. I don't have any upward mobility. I have mastered the task and I'm not being challenged anymore. Financially, they're not incentivizing me or recognizing me anymore. And I'm just looking outside of the organization. And, we read a ton of books. We listen to a lot of different professional development conversations. And, that is, so what do you do when you make the thing? You're Ford and you're building the Ford Focus, right? You got to just put the doors on the Focus, put the tires on it, and roll it off the assembly line. Charlie's there putting doors on Focuses. He gets bored putting the door on. And you're like, well, geez, where am I going to challenge you at, Charlie? You just want to paint the door instead? Like, what are we going to do here? So I think they're kind of boxed in that way. And, I guess we've probably all had jobs where we feel like we just don't have a place to go beyond where it is. What I would say is it's a hot job market right now. I mean, unless they live like on an island in Alaska, my guess is there are opportunities. They may have to take a step back to go forward, and they need to prepare for that. But I'm a big, you get one spin around this thing, and if you're going to spend the next 10 years trapped in your job, you've wasted the opportunity. So I say take the risk. If there is truly nothing else there, which it sounds like there probably is, and they're just not, but whatever. If you truly believe what's being said here and there's nothing else, you got to jump ship. Go find something that does challenge you.
How about that? Wow, Austin, I always applause for you.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Torrie? Do you think? What do you do? You know what the part that stinks is? There's lots of jobs that are tough and blah blah blah, but they kind of are treating this person not so nice and giving them the runaround. But the real big thing is, it says for little pay. I mean, if they're that freaking important, they ought to at least pay up for it, right?
I would definitely think an open-ended conversation, just a conversation with your higher up. Let them know that you are important to this company, you contribute great things, and if you are a vital role, then you want to stay, but you have to be compensated correctly. You have to feel supported and feel needed.
So have an open-ended conversation, number one. Mm-hmm. What if it doesn't go anywhere? Then what are you doing?
If it doesn't go anywhere, you got to start looking for other opportunities elsewhere. Kind of like Aaron said, you might have to take a step back, but in the long run, it might be the best thing for you.
Sharpen that old resume up.
Yeah.
We want to hear the answer from the Times?
Well, yeah.
It says you're in a frustrating professional situation where you're told you're valuable, but you aren't treated as such. I have no doubt you're essential, but your employer is taking advantage of you, and it certainly isn't demonstrating that it believes you're essential in the ways that matter most. And to have room for advancement to have no room must be so dispiriting. The best thing you can do is what I suspect you've already started doing. Polish your resume and cover letter and get relentless about looking for new work, not only in your own field, but in adjacent fields too. He goes on to say a few other things, but
I also wonder if,
God, it says life is way too short to stay in a dead-end job. That's what you said too, one spin around. That's pretty good advice, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, well, I don't know if you know this or not, but Torrie and I have a podcast where we do this. Yeah.
Ask Torrie and Aaron.
Yeah.
Okay, good job.
Thanks.
I got a fishbowl today, too.
You brought a fishbowl? I see it sitting back
there. Go ahead and fire another question or two if you want.
Torrie, what's the meaning of life? I'm just kidding.
That's a good one.
I told her before we got started, I'm not going to hit you with any crazy questions. I don't want you to be nervous.
What is the meaning of life?
We talked about this the other day in book club. About the meaning of life. So, Torrie, what kind of do you read? Do you like to read, or is it? I mean, you have two little babies.
I don't. I wish I did. I listen to a lot of podcasts, but I'm not reading currently.
What genre podcast are you into? I feel like we've known each other for a long time, but do we know each other, Torrie?
Right.
Yeah.
I do like the true crime.
Oh yeah.
Yes, absolutely. But then the funny podcast, you just got to listen to Theo Vaughn.
Yeah.
It's great.
There are times with Theo that I truly wonder, is he okay?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Fascinating character. Theo, we cannot have you as a corporate sponsor. We can't. Torrie, let me ask you a question.
Oh no.
I'd like to ask Jeff this same question because this has really been bothering me.
This will be way more important than the meaning of life.
Yeah. Torrie, do you know what an ox is?
Isn't it a bull type of animal? An ox?
A laborious animal, if you will, used for utility purposes.
But what makes an ox an ox? Do you know what an ox is? What kind of animal is an ox?
Well, she just said a bull-like creature.
So is the minotaur. What is an ox?
I am so thankful minotaur wasn't on the paper because that's a new word for me apparently.
Yeah, it's mythology.
It's not even a real animal?
You just think an ox is an ox. That's the name of the animal, is an ox, right?
I'm still stuck on the minotaur, but yes, I assumed that.
Right. It's not. It's a cow.
That has been bred with a
nothing.
Can an ox be a female or male?
It can technically be either one.
Okay.
But
Now,
it's generally a male because of the horns.
there's a lot of things that go into being an ox. I'm here to tell you. You're going to want to look this up.
God, this is deep.
I hope I don't. I should have reviewed before I came down because I don't want to mistake.
Yeah, spit the facts.
So you can have a female or a male cow, right? Mm-hmm. A non-castrated male cow, bull. Okay?
Yes.
Castrated male cow, steer.
Right.
And the female's just, bull or a
Heifer.
heifer, just a female, a cow, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Really what makes it an ox is it can't be a bull. Got to be castrated.
Okay.
And it's got to be old. That's the key to ox, I believe.
It can't be a young ox. It has
This is an elderly. This is later in life, okay?
So a geriatric castrated male cow.
Ox. It pulls things. It's not wily. It's not savagely trying to gore you, get its horns into you. It's just chill, and it's old, and it's been castrated, and it's chill. Or it can actually be a female. I think an older female. It can be either one, but it's got to be old.
And in years of
I hope I got that right.
No, you have
If it's
to
wrong, sorry.
You're 100% correct. As Chris Atkins would say, 1,000% right. When does a cow in cow years move from middle age to senior, though?
Well, I think that's up for debate among the veterinarians of the world. I don't know exactly.
As a guy that's practiced many things,
They say in the cow world,
yeah,
30 is the new 20. They're living a little longer, feeling a little better, a little more spry in their old ages these days.
Did you know this?
I did not.
Yeah.
I did not.
Well,
Do you guys know the difference between a heifer and a cow?
one has never had a child.
Correct. Which one?
Heifer has. Is that not
Incorrect.
right?
Incorrect. A heifer has not had a calf yet.
Oh, gosh, I think I want to. Ox, a bovine, trained and used as a draft animal. Oxen are commonly castrated adult male cattle. Castration inhibits testosterone and aggression, which makes the males docile and safer to work with. Cows or bulls may be used in some areas. I mean, I nailed that. Come on.
Yeah.
That was Webster's of ox definition right there.
Yeah, the Oxford Dictionary.
I'm going to be honest with you. Whenever I was in...
Excellent.
Thank you, Austin. Appreciate that, man. Hunter, thank you. Hey, did your mom make any pork or anything for today? Shucks.
Hey, speaking of moms, did I hear that today's a special day in the mom world?
Today is a very special day. Now, it's not going to air on the exact right day, but today, while we're filming, is my mom's birthday. Joe Dunlap. Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday, Joe.
We went out to dinner last night.
Did you guys?
Mm-hmm. It was a real nice time.
Yeah. Where'd you?
Had some gifts.
Yeah.
It was real sweet.
Well, good.
I delivered. She asked for something in particular, which I had to drive somewhere to pick up and get. I did. I nailed it, I think. Or she was nice about it, but
Either way.
I think I got it right.
What do you think the favorite gift you've ever received in your life was? It has to be an item. It can't be living. Well, if it's a pet, it could be living.
Right. I would say the most thoughtful, and
Okay.
I'm not trying to suck up here,
Oh,
but
God.
my good friend Jeff Stevens gave
This guy?
Yes, this guy. I know.
I wish I didn't ask. Continue on.
He gave my newborn son one of his knives of his grandfather's collection, I believe. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
It was a real special thing to me to do it, too. It was the first time that I had ever given one of those away.
Yes.
Well, I have one. I'm just kidding.
No, he didn't.
No, he doesn't. That is a very thoughtful gift.
Very
Jeff.
thoughtful.
He's a good gift giver.
He is. He is.
He's a good gift giver.
Well, that goes back to Torrie just holds a special place in my heart, and I just have always admired you a lot and just thought you're a great person. So my pleasure, my honor to do it.
What's the worst gift you've ever received? And could you name the person that gave it to you?
What if it's me too?
Right.
Weirdly enough, someone gave my newborn child a knife.
I did say probably not going to want to give this away first.
Right. We got to wait a few years.
CPS has been at my house 4 times. It's just... I'm just kidding. But CPS, if you have any corporate sponsorship money...
Can you say this? No. That might be edited out. We'll see.
Well, that's interesting.
He's got nothing.
Right.
No,
We're definitely leaving this in now. Look at him just floundering on the line. No idea what to say next, did you?
West Virginia Child Protective Services.
Oh, he's stuck on that. Makes sense. I would be too if I'd said that.
Well, I mean, you brought so much information in regards to the notorious ox of the world.
Now, serious question. What percentage of people do you think that will hear this? And there's not that many, but there might be 4.
Thousands.
Millions. What percentage of people do you think knew that an ox was just a cow and not a specific animal called an ox?
Not many.
Half of them?
No, God, no.
No.
Less?
Less.
Okay, I mean, let's check this room right now. Who knew this before then? No.
Wow.
We're
Okay.
at almost a 0% in the studio today.
Well, I've talked about this enough to where it's starting to sound a little bit annoying. Sorry, but I did the running of the bulls last summer, right? This is when it's got on my radar because after the bulls come through, there's 6 bulls and 6 steer, maybe 12 bulls. Anyways, there's quite a few of them that are trying to get you. Mm-hmm. But then to clean the route up, because the police want to get everybody off of it and open back up to the public, and they bring 6 oxen through at the end. They're harmless. They're just gentle. You could probably just give them a little pet. And I was looking, I was just like, ox? What is it? What the hell is an ox?
Yeah,
It's a cow.
I see.
Educated myself.
Yeah.
And now I felt like I needed to educate everybody about this important, hot topic that's tearing the nation apart.
Have you ever read something and you don't necessarily want to say it out loud because you're not certain if this is a real
Nope.
thing?
I say everything out loud.
Has anyone ever seen a baby pigeon then?
Well, you don't really ever see baby birds, period, unless you look up in the nest. Which I've got a few nests around the house. Sometimes I get up there and give them a little look.
Mm-hmm. I mean, pigeons live in pretty residential areas. I see a lot of pigeons, and I saw...
Well, they got to be in a nest someplace.
Well, but do they come out full size?
No.
Then why
So
haven't
what's
we...
this guy talking about?
Then why haven't we ran into one? Oh,
Because it's in a nest, man. It's like a little baby robin. It's up in the nest. You don't
but
see
you've
them.
seen a baby robin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's on my porch. Pigeons don't live around my house.
What are you talking about? We have buildings full of pigeons in Barbersville. You would
What?
think you could walk by and see. So the only baby birds you've ever seen in your life has been in a nest, never out of the nest, barely able to fly.
Correct.
I see them all the time. Like the cats are trying to get them because they get out of the nest too early.
No, you don't.
Torrie, have you ever seen a baby bird that got out of the nest too early and is like kind of...
I can't say I have.
Okay, I can't go on with this story, but my doodle sent one over the Golden Bridge one time. Is how I'm just going to say it, okay? My doodle snatched a baby bird that wasn't ready to fly yet. It happened. Callie didn't mean anything by it. If you see her, don't bring it up. All of that to say I've never seen a baby pigeon in my life, and there's an outside chance they don't exist.
Okay.
So
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Why I was fearful to say it out loud is because the meme says that they're actually not. They're robotic animals that are sent to spy on us, and electric lines recharge them. That was the part why I didn't want to say this out loud.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But then I got to thinking, I have never seen a baby pigeon before, and I clearly have a lot of experience with baby birds. So,
hold on a second. I'll show you one.
A baby pigeon?
Sure.
Google's going to disappoint you.
It says baby pigeons don't exist. Mystery solved. This is from birdsandblooms.com. Mystery solved. Why you never see a baby pigeon.
Because they don't exist.
Have you ever wondered why you never seem to see a baby pigeon?
Yes.
Find out the reason and learn more about pigeon mating and nesting. God, this is going to be clickbait.
We have to subscribe.
They're trying to now get me. Oh, it's just come up with an ad. I'm sorry, Birds and Blooms. Don't mean to disparage you, but
They don't exist. That's what I'm saying. It's behind a firewall.
Where do pigeons build their nests? Once a pair is ready to nest. Yeah, we know how birds make nests, man. Come on.
Okay.
They make a little bit of a flimsy nest at first. Then they shore them up, I suppose.
Have you ever seen
There's
a pigeon nest?
eggs. I've lost interest, but either way, there's a baby pigeon.
I have never seen that animal in my life.
Of course you haven't. Neither has anybody else, but it's not like they don't happen. Here, we can do a zoom in. Baby pigeon. I guess you can just put a graphic up with a baby pigeon.
No. We're still...
Unless this is the only picture that was ever captured.
Because it's not real. It's AI generated.
It might be, actually.
Kate Middleton.
Look at this little cute one right here giving his mom a kiss.
That's not a pigeon.
What do you think that is?
Ostrich.
Ostrich or pigeon?
Our technology's phenomenal right now. Get a tight zoom in on that.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. That one thing, the mom kind of looks a bit like a walrus, no?
What was that animal you mentioned earlier that I'd never heard of?
The minotaur?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a fake thing from...
Baby pigeon.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Torrie, I can't tell you how grateful we are that you came down. I had warned you when you came in, it'd be over before you knew it.
Yep.
There's no way on the drive down from beautiful Point Pleasant Day that you thought we would maybe get into the meaning of life, the existence of baby pigeons,
Right.
and what defines an ox.
sponsorship request to Rio Bravo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Point Pleasant updates from the mayoral office.
Right.
Hey, I got a question. I kind of like this. How many minutes does it feel like you've been doing this right now? Just gut reaction. Don't
15.
think. 15, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's been like over 40.
Wow.
Yeah, we're
Isn't that
4 hours
wild?
into
That
this.
is wild.
We got here last night.
I was really nervous that you saw me walking in. I was trying to hide under my umbrella on the street.
Man, it was a hard time to park out there. No wonder you saw me. I went back up and down 9th Street 5 times.
I
Yeah.
saw you circling out there when I was going to the parking garage, and I was calling Torrie. I was like, hide.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Torrie, thank you so much for coming down, making the drive down, being a part of the secret VCG experience, playing along with the very captivating riddle, and for co-hosting our business op-ed podcast that we host every Thursday live on PBS.
I would listen to that. You guys should do it.
I think we're going to.
All right.
It's a new business idea. Well, Torrie, we end every podcast with a set of cheers. Jeff's got his bottle. We've got a cup. So cheers.
Cheers. Thank you, Torrie.